Do you remember bum fights?
I do remember bum fights.
Wild as shit. They would just pay those guys in Vegas to slug it out.
Yeah.
And I remember how fucked up they got really lit up online. They got criticized, but their whole thing was all these homeless dudes were like, it's fucking great. They're giving us money. They're feeding us, giving us a place to live. We're loving it. The juxtaposition was they were doing more for homeless than the city would ever fucking do. That was the irony. It was so fucked up to publicize these fights and to profit from it, but they were paying these guys and giving them, they were like, oh, they're willing to fucking scrap it out on the streets. And then it became...
Well, they also paid a guy to pull his own tooth out with a fucking pair of pliers.
It was an old tooth. It was fucked up. It needed to come out.
Are you sure?
No, but you know, we'll stick by that. I don't fucking know. That video was wild.
The craziest shit was felony fights.
What is this?
Felony? It's a cigar. Felony fights is
But
the craziest.
weed in it or no?
What do you think?
Well, because otherwise I'm not going to
Smell it.
inhale if it's not. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Felony fights. Do you remember felony fights? You
No.
ever see those? They were
No.
the worst. They would pay guys to have a fucking fist fight to the death in a fucking orange orchard.
What?
Oh my god, it was
I've
horrible.
never heard of this shit.
This one guy beats the fuck out of this other guy. One guy who knows how, this Mexican kid who knows how to fight, fights this white kid who definitely doesn't know how to fight. They both just got out of jail.
That's the title?
And they talk about where they went to jail and what they were in for, and then they fight. And the Mexican dude catches this dude with a punch, knocks him out, and then the guy goes down. And as he goes down, the guy starts kicking him in the head, and then he just drops giant knees on his face.
Oh, bro.
While he's unconscious. They don't stop the fight at all. And the dude's out cold, just getting blasted in the head, and he starts snoring like, it's... Why are you laughing?
because I saw it in my head, the cartoon image of a guy like,
bro, it's so rough.
Terrible.
And as a guy who's seen a disproportionate amount of people get fucked up.
Right.
Like if you wanted to go throughout human history and say how many people have you seen get knocked the fuck out? How many people have you seen get blasted unconscious? I am in the 1/100th of 1% of all the people that have ever lived.
You've seen the most.
There's a few other
person.
people like me, like Mike Goldberg and John Anik and DC and
Right.
And
But I'm saying your
Dominic
core
Cruz.
group of guys.
I have seen more people get knocked the fuck out than almost anybody that's ever lived.
You guys' reaction, you and Anik's reaction was hilarious, by the way.
Dude, I never stop loving it, man. I never stop loving that sport. When someone rises like Thug Rose or Kamaru Usman or when someone rises to the occasion, I will never stop loving it. I've been doing this shit for so long, and I can't help myself.
I wanted to ask you this. In the Usman fight,
Yes.
when he's down and he keeps clipping him, do you think that should be stopped or that's okay?
The referee has to pull him off.
Because he clipped him a few more times after
It's
he was
super necessary.
for him to hit him a few more times.
It's super necessary.
I'm asking. Look, here's my reasoning.
You don't know what I'm saying. Super necessary is like when Masvidal knocked out Ben Askren. He hit him with a flying knee, and he punched him a bunch of times on the ground. And the reporters asked him, "Is it necessary?
Oh, super
for
necessary.
you to keep punching him like that?" He goes, "Oh, it's super necessary."
Right.
So
Right.
Masvidal, like you reap what you sow, and he, to his credit, Masvidal is a fucking gangster.
Yeah.
To his credit, he got KO'd, and he said, "I'm a big fan of that punch that knocked me out."
Yeah, that's huge.
He said that. He said he was a big fan of
insane.
Kamaru Usman landing the perfect punch and knocking him out for the first time in his career. Also, when I interviewed him after the fight, which people are like, you said you weren't going to interview people after the fight. I don't even know what's happening. Like when I was in a trance, like everything was so crazy, and you guys are right. Yeah, I did say that I wasn't going to interview people after the fight, but guess what? I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
Because whether it was Zhang Weili or whether it was Askren or Masvidal getting KO'd like that, like Masvidal had the classiest response I've ever experienced with a guy talked so much shit, hyped up a fight, did what he did, fought his heart out, got knocked the fuck out with one punch, and was all class. All class.